that every step towards my goals was supposed to be celebrated, because what is not celebrated is not duplicated. You didn't understand who you are and what is important to you right now.
We can't wait to be perfect to do something, guys. So that's how it is.
You see what I'm
Imperfect
saying?
actions every day.
Imperfect action is better than not taking action.
Exactly.
People see the good thing, but right behind the scene, we don't see what's going on.
And it doesn't matter if nobody else would wear this. It doesn't matter.
If you the only one that's wearing it, the better, because people gonna remember you more.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a cheat code to this. Okay.
I think life doesn't have to be heavy. I
Oh,
think we can be entrepreneurs, bringing joy and make it light. If it's not supposed to be enjoyable, just don't do it. Forget it. For me, that's how I see it. It's like, first thing, if you want a business, before the table is set up, before the lemonade is ready, before anything, you're gonna go around the neighborhood and tell everybody what you're gonna do.
what's going on, my brothers and sisters around the world? It's your boy Terrell with the Y Humphrey, and we got another great episode for today. For episode number 66, we have my special guest, Hellen Nitschke. How are you doing?
I am good. There is a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I was stoked when you said yes. I was like, oh yes, I get to learn so much. So for the audience that doesn't know who you are, who are you? What do you do? Where you from?
Okay, let's start where I'm from, because probably you wonder, where's the accent? Or maybe you already know if you know Brazilians in your life. You may recognize, you may don't. But
Mhm.
yes, I am from Brazil. That's where the accent come from originally, from Brazil. And I am here in US for about 14 years now. When I came here, I didn't speak a word in English. I gave myself a goal that I had 1 year to be fluent. My husband laughed at me because he is a American kid. He's still like, ain't gonna happen. He is born and raised in Brazil, but his mother is American, so he always have English. But then I said, "You watch me," and then I did. So wasn't super fluent, but I was able to go to my college that I want to do here. My background is fashion design.
Mhm.
So I had fashion design in Brazil. So I just want to do fashion design in US too, to understand the language and, be involved in the industry here. So in 1 year, I did. I was able to join the school, and he was like, "Wow, I can't believe you did!" But I was a maniac about English. I went to the English class. School was the English as second language, and they gave me the worst class ever, Terror, because my English was so bad. But like, think someone that is bad, bad. If I say like words kind of wrong, or sometimes it's still like, be the accent or some stuff is, but imagine when it was none. So they gave me like 2 hours a week only, and I said, no, I have this year to learn. You need to give my more classes. I was so annoying, pretty much, that they start giving me more options, because they say I never saw anybody like this. And then at first they said, like, we have the computer lab, you can stay there all day long. And it was like, okay, done, deal. I was there all day long, literally. And then I started advancing super fast. And I was a case of study, because they say, we never saw anybody doing this. So I was like, I was determined. I was like, I have my ear, and that's what I'm going to do. So that's how my journey started here in USA. And then I work in fashion all this year. I was able to work for big companies like Adidas, Billabong, Ripco. A lot of my designs in Target is still, and all over the US. And fun fact, I design a lot of Christmas sweaters. So if you ever buy Christmas sweaters from Target, it's a big chance that my hands is there somehow.
Wow. Have you? Okay. First off, we got to clap to that. Okay. That is a major accomplishment, because you believe in your work and yourself, and now everything's being displayed. So have you celebrated your win yet?
Yes, I wasn't good at this, because for me, wins was only when you accomplish something amazing, and everything that accomplished to me was never amazing, because I always knew the next step. So for me, it was always, no, but I'm not there yet. And then that changed my whole game when I understood that every step towards my goals was supposed to be celebrated, because what is not celebrated is not duplicated. So if my brain understands that it was good, it will do it again. So yes, Terry, I'm not still very good at it. I still have to keep breaking on this. But yes, I'm celebrating more and more the accomplishments. And I encourage everybody to do the same, because it took me a while. I used to be that once, the way I grew up with my father, if I wasn't the first one in class, I should not celebrate because I wasn't the best. Even if I was the second best, like, yeah, not good enough, you could do better. If I wasn't the perfect for this, for that, for that. So that made me grow in a way. It's good. I'm achiever, but bad because it was never enough. Never enough. No matter what I did, never enough. So then I have to start really shifting because, yeah, not okay.
You're absolutely right. So before we even dive in a little bit deeper on that topic, right? How are
Yes.
you doing mentally?
Mentally,
Yes, ma'am.
wow, mentally, like it's been a journey. Now I will say that I am good. But the last years, like, I discovered a lot about myself that I didn't even know was there. And I thought, like, as a strong woman, I was always like, oh, yes, I'm super okay. I'm okay with this. And then later I was like, oh,
I'm
I
not
wasn't
okay.
okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't okay.
yeah.
And I was just pressing through, running over like I always did. And like, that's me, fine.
Yeah.
And it being a lot of things. And it's still some stuff that Terry, I'm not going to lie, has little details that I'm not okay. I'm finding answers and I'm looking for answers. And it's not that I'm in a bad place,
Hmm.
but I find out it's little things that still need to be solved right there.
Wow. Helen, you know what I've learned is that as we're going through life, and it sounds like that you a fixer, right? You fix everybody else's problem, but mine is yours. So because your problem doesn't matter as much as everybody else's.
Yes.
I've learned the best way to heal other people that surround us is that we have to heal first. We have to become one with our past, our trauma, everything we dealt with. Because not only is it detrimental to everybody else, we're destroying our mental because now we put it on a facade to say we're okay. It is absolutely okay to go through the process of healing and depression and mental awareness because we're so on the go, 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 we forget to be present in the moment, which causes us to be overwhelmed, stress out, have anxiety attacks, be depressed, be alone. And now, once we accept everything that we're going through, now we're able to grow and really heal into a new unique identity. What happened for you to realize that something is not normal?
Okay. So in this journey, so I was in fashion industry for many years and working like a maniac.
Hmm.
My first year with my baby girl, I barely saw her because I was putting like 12, 13, 14 hours a day. So my baby girl could barely see it. And then came the next baby. And then also the same thing. And then I said, like, got to a point where I was like, I felt from God, like, just time to move. That's when I created, like, about 2 years ago, my first swimwear line. That's something I really want to do. And I found out that I suck in marketing, like real bad. Real bad. I was like, great designer, horrible marketing. Couldn't market myself, which I hate this. I hate social media. I hate that. I hate that. And I was like, how exactly I'm planning on selling it? And I wasn't a good business woman. I was like, oh my gosh, this thing sucks. So I kind of took a step and break and it stopped right there. And that's when I found out that I wasn't okay because I couldn't stop judging myself. Because, like, how you gonna stop the brand because you are like a fashion designer? You learned to be a fashion designer. You dedicated your whole life for this, and now you're gonna stop your brand that you just launched. What people gonna say?
Mm.
What they gonna tell? Like, and people ask all the time, every day. Yeah, but where's your selling? What happened to Copacabana and everything? And then there was when I find out a lot of things wasn't okay. because it was like me constantly judging myself and trying to look for people approval. So I was
Mm.
constantly, I was always looking for someone to qualify myself
Hmm.
where I should be qualifying me. And like if I create a business here, Terry, and I realize has things that I don't know I need to learn, what is better? To keep grinding, grinding, grinding like going nowhere, or stop, let me learn well what I'm not good at it, and then come back stronger. And why
Hmm.
I'm still judging myself. If I know the best path for me, at least, is not just grinding and pretend I know, but recognize, ooh, I suck on this. Oh gosh, I do suck. I'm really bad. I need to go this way, change direction, pivot, and be okay with that. And that's when I found out that I was so attached to what I do that my identity was so connected to what I do. And I couldn't answer this question, Terry.
Mm.
Who are you, Helen? I couldn't. I only everything that I say about me was what I did. Who are you, Helen? I'm a fashion designer. Where I'm designer. No, no, no. Who is Helen? And I was like,
Wow.
I, I, I couldn't answer, and I still have a hard time with this. So because for all these years, like I said, my father's and my dad is awesome, but like that thing was all about doing like what did I did was the best or not the best. If I wasn't the best one, so then I wasn't good enough. Then my identity was connected to me what I did. And that's when I recognized wasn't okay. And that's why I was constantly grinding, 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 working, 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 putting all many hours because my value was just connected to who to what I did. I didn't know who I was
Wow.
after so many years.
You know, and I'm happy that you even touched on that because as we're believing in ourselves when we're going along the journey, our identity becomes our occupation, right? How what are we known for? What are we doing to help bring value? But as we're doing this, we're forgetting by ourselves. We don't have self days. We're not dating ourselves because it's always the next move. It's always the next thing. It's always the next opportunity. But every since I started my journey back 2 years ago, I didn't understand the concept of celebrating your wins, celebrating your accomplishments, celebrating everything that you just accomplished for yourself until this year. This year has been so hard for me because I went through a divorce. And once I went through a divorce, it really taught me to really learn more about myself. Now learn not only learn about myself, but to date myself, but to put myself first because I matter more than the next person. So as I'm learning it, I'm like, oh, that's what life is all about. Identifying and becoming more aware of yourself, and then you're able to bring value to others. Now I understand everything I'm doing. It started with me, but it's not gonna end with me. But I have to put myself first in order to create the life that I want, that I desire. And it took so much time because my pain taught me how to what self love is, self awareness, self accountability, self like what is self. So every time I ask somebody that's on an entrepreneurship journey, I ask them, "Do you celebrate your small wins?" Everybody say the same thing. I don't think what I just done was a lot. I don't think it was nothing. I don't think it was like that important. I just thought I was doing the norm. It was the
That I have
everyday
to do
grind.
that.
I was grinding. But the second we sit back and realize everything that we accomplished over the years, over the months, over the days, we start to understand that is a lot. That is a lot.
It doesn't mean you're settling for less.
Yeah.
I think when you have the entrepreneurial mindset or being, because it's different, and I don't believe everybody's supposed to be entrepreneur. I think we're now in a phase that everybody's saying, drop everything, being entrepreneur. But the honestly, like you said, knowing about yourself is important. For example, I was even having the conversation with my mother the other day, and she has to drop some stuff in her diet and she gets terrified. She's like, no, but how you gonna live without this? Her background is Italian, and for her, the bread is the things from heaven. So she
Mhm.
makes the best bread in the world. And growing up with my mother was very hard to be fit. So like was five breads, everything, like type of bread. And I was gonna. So when I tell her this is probably not doing her so well, she has a break, she gets terrified. And then I told her that, Mom, the thing is, you didn't understand who you are and what is important to you right now.
Mm,
That's why you cannot drop the bread. Because for you, what people are saying doesn't make sense for you. And here I'm going to give an example, and I give to my mother that can help everybody else. For me, Helen, I like to change the world every day. Every day I woke up like, let's just take the world by storm. Rah, rah. Like I'm a warrior. Rah, let's do it. Like I can be stronger than anybody else. Change is important to me.
mm,
I hate to be the same all the time. Change is important. I like to change things. I like innovate things, and I'm like want some things to be new and different, and I like the challenge. Challenge is important to me. As I say, let's take the world by storm every day. It's not an easy thing to do, and I get frustrated most of the day because guess what happened normally? I didn't take the world by storm today. So
yeah.
but understand who Helen is and that Helen is a warrior. And so challenge is important to me. If I start living in a place that is always the same and I already figured that thing out, I start getting in a certain level of depression. It's
Mm,
kind of like, eh.
yeah.
So here's what happened to me. Back in the day when people would say to me, you gotta exercise every day, blah, 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 because then you're gonna look beautiful and hard. For me, I was like, man, I don't care. Like, if I'm hot or not, who cares? Like, I don't care. It didn't cut for me. But when I understood that as women, unfortunately, after age of 35, we start losing strength in our bones. And then when you're 50, you have a big tendency of have like osteoporosis, and that is when your bones is weak. But if your muscles are strong enough and very strong, your muscles will support your bones and yet will make better for your bones to be healthier and everything. Aha,
Mm,
now you got me. You have to be strong. Now you got me. Then after that momentary, I start waking up every day, rolling myself out of bed and run that I hate to run and work out every day, raining, snow, not, but, and I was so consistent because I understood what is good for me.
mm,
Who is Helen is about? Helen
mm,
is about being strong. Helen is like, "Rah!" Like the Hulk. That makes sense to me. What the internet said, it doesn't make sense to me. And
mm,
that's what I was telling my mom. I was like, Mom, for you, you love security. I can't expect you, Mom, to ever be an entrepreneur that would kill you, would make you desperate, stress out, and everything. So you need to connect with the security. What is about your diet? Why bread is so important to you? What is the memory that brings? What that makes you so happy when you had a piece of bread? So that will connect and then make you understand what can be substitute, what
mm.
can help you like slow down on this, like why? Because this is connected with something deeper. It's not just the bread, it's something deeper important to you, because for you it's important be secure. So I think when you said the journey of self-care is so important for everything, because we have a tendency to go by waves. Me, fashion, everybody want to follow a trend, but
Mhm.
then that's what doesn't make you unique, because if everybody's using the same trend, everybody looks the same.
Yeah, everybody sounds the same. It's kind of like what's the genre? Hip hop.
Yeah.
Everybody sounding like the next artist. Like, where's the uniqueness there? And Helen. So there's two questions that popped up as you was describing who Helen was. The first,
Okay.
how did that feel? How did that feel saying it out loud? Like, this is who Helen is. How did that feel for yourself?
It's so good. It feels so good. And I think one time, even in church, made me, God helped me understood who I was in something so simple. I saw a woman passing by,
Hmm.
and I never gonna forget was Asian girl. And Asians are so good and being so beautiful, so they are always so pretty and so sweet, and they are just like petite, and everything about them is so feminine. So And then that moment she passed by, she was calm, soft spoken, and all the thing. Like, and I remember I was talking to myself, and I say like, oh, I wish I could be more like Asian girls, like always pretty, always wearing dresses, and soft spoken, and they're probably always nice to their husbands, and I'm not always nice to my husband. Sometimes I'm like, get a grip, man. It's like, and it was like, I wish it would be like this. And that moment came to me something very like an image that was very good. Then I felt that moment. I in my heart, I felt like this. Okay, how? What if right now we'd have a shooting in this church? What would you do?
Mm.
I was like, if I was a shooting in this church, so I would like hold everybody by me like down. I would probably grab a chair, something. I would put this, and I would throw in whoever is there, so we give the time so for us to run. I would save as many people I could. Blah, blah, blah. I would start mapping my mind, and I was blah, blah, blah. And then in that moment, I felt from God says, yes, because I made you a warrior, and
Mm.
under your watch, nobody dies. But that woman I made for a different purpose. And if the same thing happened here, she would be the first one crying, maybe. But you are made into open path and fight for people that cannot fight for themselves. And that's who you are. In that moment, I cried her a little bit because I was like, I never understood who I was. And I was taking for granted the most important thing I have, that who I am. And I was trying to be someone else because I thought that I was pretty.
That's hard to identify. That's difficult to say, and it's new to walk into. Because what I've learned is that as we're trying to compare ourselves to the next person, we're destroying everything that we have going on for ourselves. Not necessarily well, destroying and like really comparing and being jealous. Like, why how
Yes,
come they got this and I don't have this? How come they do this and look like this and talk like this? I don't have like this. Earlier, when you started to explain who you were, you said that you dedicated a year to learn English, meaning that a lot of people don't understand the journey behind that. It takes time to get up every day and to practice what you want to perfect.
yes.
What you're seeing today, this is not overnight success. This is not. There, social media it has it misconstrued to say everybody is successful at this level, but we only seeing 60 seconds of it. But if you really want to be technical, 7 to 8 seconds of it.
Yes.
We're judging our current life and state to the next person because we don't have what they have.
Yeah.
We don't understand what they just accumulated. And why can't we have that? Correction, you can have it, but are you willing to put the time, the effort, the struggling, the recognition, the growth, the process, the understanding behind the journey? See, everything that look good is not good because there's so much to go into it.
The other day, someone looked at me. I did that live. I did that live in that group that we are together that I created. And something, one comment, I mean, oh my gosh, Helen, you're so good in camera. You're so natural. And I was like, yeah, it took 2 years to be natural. My first live, I was sweating like a crazy, but not sweating normally. You know those pain sweating.
Yep.
You know when you're sweating that is painful, and you like, and I cry and I broke in tears. And I'm like, ah! It's like the person is so natural. Like, yeah, I'm born for this.
And that when I started making content, looking at the camera like I'm doing now, it was so difficult because I didn't understand. So when I record something, then it wasn't sounding good. I look at it, watch it, I delete it. Nah, I delete
Yeah.
it. Then I'm like, why am I deleting it? Who is going to judge me? I'm
And
judging
if they
myself.
do, and if they do you really care? Like,
No.
do you really care? Because, like, who normally judges you? Isn't it the people that don't even know who you are, don't care about you, have no relationship with you, but they love to talk about someone else's business? Do I really want to hang out with this person? Like, no.
Helen, when I understood the process of really just getting out my head and just believing everything I'm doing, that transition was so phenomenal because I'm not worried about what the next person is saying. If they say something good, thank you. If they say something bad, thank you. I can't
Thank you.
I can't let your comment or your perspective stop me from doing what I need to do in order to keep growing and keep prevailing.
One of my mentors, he even said something that is so cool. And he said, you need at least 100 haters. If
Yeah.
you don't have 100 haters, you're not going to grow your business or anything you do because, like, they are the best marketing. Because someone that loves you, they say just to one person, oh, Terry is so good. I love him. But then someone that hates you, they just spread the word so fast and so quickly.
So
That makes you an overnight success. So I hope somebody here who hates what I'm saying complain about it, be mad at me, but just please tell to like at 20 or 30s like that you don't like what I said, hate my accent. I don't care. Put something, but just spread the word.
find something to hate about me so you
Just
keep talking
something.
about me.
Exactly.
I've learned any marketing is the best marketing, right? So
Uh-huh.
the people that like you is gonna follow you. They're gonna support you everything that you're doing. But the
Yeah.
people that don't like you, if you say something wrong, say something out of the ordinary, people gonna always remember you because you said something out of the ordinary. If you're going through life and you feel lost, and you feel like you lost your identity, and you feel like you're sad for no reason, and you feel like you just want to be left alone and really to yourself. See, here's the thing. My name is Terrell with the Y Humphrey, and I created 5 free ways to identify if you have depression or not. See, the thing about mental health is that we don't understand how it creep up on us. As it's creeping up on us, we become sad, we become depressed, we become overwhelmed, we start having anxiety attacks. See, the thing about identifying your pain is that you're able to walk along the path of healing. So I've created 5 ways to identify if you have depression or not, and these are from my experience, what I overcame, what I experienced, and the growth I developed for myself. But it took me to identify what I was going through, in order to grow through it. Learn as you go, grow as you learn, and that's the best way that we're able to heal because we have to identify the pain. Once we identify the pain, now we can work our way towards healing and grow into a unique identity. Again, click this link down below to get 5 free ways to identify if you have depression or not. Click this link down below. Enjoy the show, and I'll see you there.
I removed from the Wi-Fi actually. I think the Wi-Fi was like struggling. So
Yeah, this one is a lot better.
we can't wait to be perfect to do something, guys. So that's how it is.
You see what I'm
Imperfect
saying?
actions every day.
Imperfect action is better than not taking action.
Exactly. Imperfect actions every day is gonna move you to places that you don't even imagine. Things that you think will take you like 10 years to happen will start happening right now because of imperfect actions. Let's
And
roll.
that's what life is all about, starting and figuring out along the way.
Exactly. Exactly. We all have Wi-Fi's that doesn't work sometimes, so let's keep rolling.
The journey teaches us how to adapt to the
So
unknown.
much. Pivot
Yeah,
every time. Like you
every
try
day.
this way, didn't work, pivot to that way. Like the internet's not working, computer jump to the phone. Da, da. Don't be embarrassed. Just keep going. Just keep going.
I definitely agree. That just brought up another question. How do you get comfortable with pivoting?
Oh, okay. Is
I think your
the
camera just went off.
What ha- what helped me is the fact that like wasn't the internet right now, was me like trying to figure it out. So so for me, what is hard is the first thing that comes to mind is kind of people will judge my pivot. Like I said, in fashion, being fashion for all this year, and now I'm not. Like, what are you doing, Helen? But then remind me the way that makes easier for me is remind me where I want to go and what's going to take me faster. Instead of being like, well, but I'm going to pivot and then this person's going to say that, or like what's going to happen is like, I want to go there. It's like a GPS. If you put in your GPS where you want to go and the GPS say, here is faster and is better and you're going to get there faster. Are you going to just say, no, GPS, you don't know better. Let me do my way. Or you're going to listen to GPS and not question. Normally, what do we do for a device? We listen to that device and we don't question. But when it comes to us, to our hearts and the things we know for a fact will do best for us, we judge because of waters. So what helped me pivot faster is understand that I know the journey where I want to get. And if you're gonna help me grow faster and be a better person faster, let's just do it now and don't question. Because one thing that I learned most from one of my mentors that I love it is like this, that our dreams grow here, but they die here because we question too much. So normally what is here, we know what is right because our essence, who we are, is right here. We are more spirit than we are this flesh here. But then we bring it here, and that's when everything dies. So don't bring it here. Leave it. It's here. Just do it. Five, four, three, two, one, go.
You have to do that. I've learned whenever I have a thought, idea, epiphany, a saying, whatever the case is, I'm going to do it right then and there. So what we as people do is that we ponder on the thought of what just came to us. Like, why did it come to us? Is it supposed to come to us? What if it doesn't work? What if it, what if we do it and it ends up bad? The first thing that we think about is the negative aspect of it. Why is
Yes.
why is that once you start, whatever happens, happens. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. We can't
And you learn.
dictate the outcome. We can only learn from the mistakes. But it's so
Yes.
hard to accept that everything's not gonna be perfect. Like prime example, our live, it had some complications.
Yes.
But it's okay. That is okay.
Yes.
Life is not going to be perfect. If you have a
And you
life, I need to talk to
it's
you.
boring. They're boring. They're boring. Boring as heck. I don't want to, like, even like those girls that I admire that I said to you right now that I looked like, oh, she's so perfect. But then I was wondering, like, one day at my work, I had I had a boss that I would always like be mad at myself, like, hi, why I'm not like her? She's so organized, she's this, she's that. And like, and I couldn't get this done. She gets so much done and blah, blah, blah. But she will focus on one thing only. And then I remember that day I was at work and I was so stressed out and I took a break. I went to the bathroom and there was like, I took a deep breath and I was like, oh, like, I don't know. I cannot do this anymore. I was like, I wish I can be like her. And I feel so judged by her. And then that moment in my mind, like, but why are you going to be like her? And then I was like, huh, why want to be like her? You say she's all perfect. Do you want to be all perfect? And then my question, like my answer is super fast. They're like, well, heck no. See, and then came to my mind, she never even traveled outside the country.
Mm,
I was like, oh, no, I don't want that. She
mm,
speak only one language. Helen, you speak like fluent, like three, and you know four. I was like, yeah, I like that. How many countries have you visited, Helen? I was like, oh, so many. And I didn't even do like, 2% of my list. How is your kids at home? Do they take risks or they are like all play safe? Oh, they take a lot of risks. I actually push them to take a risk. Okay, good. And I said, question myself, like, I don't want to have to be perfect. Like, why I care about this girl that is perfect? Like, why I let her perfect like life and everything be like a problem to me because I was seeing her at work, but then what seemed so perfect to me at work as being my boss, I was like, I'm not even sure her life is perfect.
I,
Maybe I am like saying that is perfect because that's what I see, but I don't know if I want like leave. I didn't want to leave her life at all,
mm-hmm.
but was asking questions that I realized there that we just take a label or do like, oh, this person's perfect, I should be perfect, but we don't even know the journey first. And I'm sure nothing about that person was perfect to get to the journey if they are where they are. Anybody that is in a very good spot today had a very messy journey.
I,
Because the only way, Terry, to learn, we want to be perfect and play safe. But what moves us fast and effectively is the wrong, is the do wrong, the things that didn't go well, because that's what like actually accelerate this process. Like be in positions that are like, I messed up. Everything went wrong. Like right now, yeah, right now, like, oh, I was like seeing you frozen. I was like thinking about quickly. I had to find a solution, and that made me understand my laptop versus my phone versus this versus that. Like I learned in 5 seconds what may would take like a year to a person to figure it out some tech issues.
Yep. Hmm.
Doing wrong accelerate your process. So just fail like as fast as you can.
Fast. Like, don't be afraid to jump, because as you're jumping, you're finding a way how to land. Each
Yes.
different, and you really just brought a picture in my mind when you said that. So you know how you go hiking, right? And
Yeah.
start at the bottom and you work your way up. You got the rocks, you got the trail, you got the steepness of the hill of the hike. It's
Yeah.
continuously going up. It was a picture. It was a guy on top of the mountain, and it was people looking up. And the caption said, "If only you knew." Behind him was like knives, cuts, blood.
Woo! Give you goosebumps.
You know what I'm saying? So people see the good thing, but right behind the scene, we don't see what's going on. Just like you said,
Yeah.
like, why do you want to be perfect? Why do you want to be the next person when you're doing so much for yourself? See, everything that we're doing, and we think is so minuscule because we don't understand that we're taking small daily action. Notice I said small because it's not massive. It's not going to be massive. It's massive over time as it's compounded. But we,
Yes.
we want
It's
to be
complex.
perfect as soon as we start it, as soon as we start something. When I started my journey back in August of 2020, I had a thought. I want to be a millionaire. September of 2022, I was not a millionaire. I'm sorry. September of 2020, I was not a millionaire. A month span, month time frame. I understand. I dream big. I understand. I have big goals, but that is impossible. I'm not the person that I need to become in order to make $1 million.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, it takes time. It takes time. So you say you was in fashion. What does fashion mean to you, and how can you really learn somebody from that?
Um, Fashion to me means art.
Mm,
So I love the art behind it. What made me fall in love with fashion is as a little kid, my mom was a sewer, and she would come clients and she would ask for questions and for like things done. Normally dresses, she was like more a tailor, and she couldn't understand what they asked many times. And they will leave, and she's like, I don't even know what this person need. And I was like 6 or 7, and I'll come, wait, mom, I know, I understood. And she was like, what? And I'll grab a piece of paper and draw. And as I draw, she's like, she really understood.
yep.
And she's like, oh my gosh, this kid has a talent. So that's how I fall in love with fashion. And then I went to work in fashion industry because that's what I want. And then I got like a really huge broken heart because the industry is nothing like a dream for. Because fashion for me is the art, is
Mm,
the representation, is the beauty of the art and the elevating the soul of a person that area and like really make them women especially feel like a princess. And it's nothing like the fashion industry. So for me, that's what is fashion means to me. Bring back our art and bring back use fashion to restore the value of a person. So
wow.
that's what it's for me.
You know, that is really powerful. Do you think you can identify how someone is just the way they dress?
Yes, and you can identify even more. You can identify the troubles they are going through by the way they dress. Because clothing can make you represent something that you are not. And a lot of people that are very connected to just use a lot of brands or a lot of things a lot of times is because they having a lot of troubles even like love who they are for sure. And fashion is a way to kind of put me the way I want to be, but I'm just not quite there yet.
Mm. How can somebody get to that level of understanding how to put their personality into what they're wearing?
I think really recognize you, understand what is good for you.
Mhm.
Like I said before, even like the conversation I have to my with my mom. If you are a person that love being more secure, don't go to trends just because the trend is there and has nothing to do with you. So, and I'm not saying don't use trend at all, but like the thing is, for everything that we do, know who you are is so important for me. I'm Brazilian, okay? We have big hips. So a lot of the trends are made for some skinny girls that if I try it, first of all, I can look stupid. And second of all, like I'll be trying just because someone is wearing. Like always ask a question is, am I wearing this because when I look in the mirror, I love exactly what I see? Or is just because someone that I love and admire is wearing, so I want to be like this person and I'm trying to replicate who they are. And that is a problem when
Mm.
I'm trying to replicate who they are. But if I love what a celebrity wear and I go find something just the same or even the same type of clothes, and when I put it on, oh my gosh, I look so special. I love what I see. I truly do. I would wear this every day, all the time, because it made me feel so beautiful. Yes, go for it. But if you put it on and you want to keep it on and you hate it, deep down you look and say like, ugh, I look stupid. But that person, but I can brag about it because it's that brand or doesn't that, then I'll say no.
Mm.
And understand your body type, women, especially girls. Like I have a small waist, I'm small here, but then I'm bigger here. So has a lot of type of pants and things that just not gonna look so good. But like some sort of dresses that is small here, but then open, more flowy. Even if it's not the biggest trend right now, it really elevates who I am. And
Mm.
normally every room that I get in is so funny because the dresses that I even don't consider so much, but you know those dresses that you don't know the dresses, but like you know those days the clothing that you
I'm
put
gonna
it
say
on
yeah.
like in the day, yeah. But like the clothing that you put it on that day that you don't feel like, but it's just that one that you feel so comfortable that you just go for it. And me as a mom, when I always being a very much a tomboy, like always skate, surfing, motorcycle, blah blah blah. I didn't find out about dresses until I was in like my late 20s. And then I found out how good and fast they could be. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a life saving. Like you put one thing and you're done. Oh, that's great. So, and normally when I wear those things, there that is so like, oh, let's just grab this one because I like it and whatever, let's go. Is normally the days that I get the most compliment. And it's not the branded dress, it's not the top of notch high fashion, is that one there's so much me that highlight me and who I am. So that's why, like, when I go out, people are like, oh my gosh, you look so beautiful. And that's when I look like, huh, this dress is old, is already beat up. Like, but it's because it's me. So always find something that is represents you.
You know, because I learned how to dress from women. Y'all are very aesthetic. Y'all very detail oriented. Y'all pay attention to small details. Like y'all, everything that y'all have on, from the shoes to the pants to the shirt to the accessories to the hairstyle to like your makeup, like everything correlates with each
The
other.
combo.
There's a combination with it. So as I'm learning about myself and how I really love dressing up, it's phenomenal. It is amazing. See, when I go purchase suits, I don't buy the typical color. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Uh-huh.
it doesn't say nothing about my personality. Every time I go, I get something that's out of the norm, like a burgundy suit. But the burgundy suit is not, it's a different material, which means it's going to catch your eye, look more freaky.
Yeah.
The
Uh-huh.
blue blazer is very nice, very nice. It's not a typical blue though, right? So every color that I'm getting, there's a reason behind it because every
Uh-huh.
time I'm in a room, I want your attention. Not saying like on no cocky level, absolutely not. Just confident. I'm
No.
very confident in myself and what I'm wearing because what I'm wearing represents me. No,
Me and the colors, especially that you say that are so important because don't play colors by trend because just really test it 2 or 3 colors in the mirror and see how your face will light up. So
yeah,
automatic, even if you don't have like I'm a fashion consultant too. So like you don't even need a consulting for to give you your specific color is not what I believe that we know, and we can even ask people around us, does this color or this color look better on me, which ones make my like, and you see automatic, like you put some colors on that you see your face doing like and some you just like die right away. So it's like big things that really like bring you. And that it doesn't matter if nobody else would wear this. It doesn't matter.
If you the only one is wearing it, the better, because people gonna remember you more.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a cheat code to this. Okay. But the next suit I'm going to get is going to be all purple. Okay. That purple is going to go crazy because I saw a guy with a purple shirt on, the long sleeve button down.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I said, oh, that mud nice. That
That's
was,
nice.
that is like,
You know that for you too, there, like since we went to fashion like economy, is those jackets that has like some textures too. Those are so nice. The
mhm.
texture really elevate the process. Like, and like some people will try to be like super funny and smart, and they will say like, "Ew, that looks like the curtain from your grandmother." Like, they don't even pay attention. They don't get it. So
It caught your attention. That's all that matters. It worked.
exactly. Oh, I love you hating. So goodbye.
Marketing like crazy. So,
Exactly.
so
Can you tell like five people about my shirt that look like my grandmother tall? Like, would you please like find
please
five people in the room to talk about my shirt that you don't like it? Thank you.
have them look at me. Just as I'm walking by, have them break.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just let me show this shirt myself, you know?
Please. It's really helping me more than it's hurting me. Okay.
Yes, I appreciate you so much. Like, just can you do it now before we forget?
Yeah. Since it's fresh on your mind, please do it now.
Yeah, just impression in your mind. Perfect. So good.
You're in the fashion, you pivot to a new industry, which is swimwear. What is your business now?
So doing this swimwear line is when I found out about marketing and everything. And I found out how painful was to try to really make a successful business in online like world. That I felt the pain. So as I started learning marketing and going this journey and everything, and I got involved like deeply. And the way I begin, you see that when I decide to do something, I'm a little bit committed, you know. So when I threw myself in marketing, I didn't dabble like here and there. I was like full force. So I learning like in 1 2 months. So people take like years to do because I was just like day and night going for it. And I got involved with Pedro Adeo Community, and together with my then found a partner there that we start as a friendship inside the Pedro Zadeo's house in a workshop, and we started noticing that we would take everything that we learn right away and apply, and we will get a result instantly. He will teach something this week, we would take action, apply, get results, action, apply, get results. But then we started notice like for a course in a year course program, people were exactly where they were or worst than like in the same spot doing the same thing we are doing in the same program, and we're like what is this? And then we realized that a lot of people need some hand holding. Just learn is not enough, and most of people don't need to learn one more thing. They just need to know how to apply and take actions and things they already know. So that's why a year and few months ago, like a year and a half ago, we launched Get Launch Agency, my partner and I, to help women from corporate like me and her. She was like in a lifetime corporation. She was like 15 years high executive in a corporation in lifetime. I was like more than 50, 20 years like in fashion industry, in corporation, big corporation, like I said, big names and everything. And I couldn't find my value. And I didn't know who I was. I always had a dream to really help women and really help people like do above and beyond, but I couldn't do it because I was so connected to what I did and not who I was.
Mm.
So that's when we launched Galart Agency, which is a step by step cohesive plan, which we literally take women, mostly women, but we also have men too that are transitioned from corporate to their online world. But they don't have time, they have a hard time like find the time and even the focus to really go for it. So we do each week is one topic only, and we just teach that, take action, and then move forward. So we have our proprietary framework, which is laugh. Well, I like to laugh, as you can see it. I think life doesn't have to be heavy. I
Um,
think we can be entrepreneurs, bringing joy and make it light. If it's not supposed to be enjoyable, just don't do it. Forget it. For me, that's how I see it. But the laugh actually doesn't spell the same. It's actually ALAAF, which stands for learn, ask, act, and get feedback. So our weeks goes like this. On Monday, we have a mindset Monday. On Tuesday, we give you a workbook that you're gonna work on it. On Wednesday, you come and ask question live. And then on Thursday, you have to present what you've done. And then we give you feedback. So what changed my life in this online business there was actually the feedback, because that's what we are saying about people love or hating what we do. We want to so much avoid the hate part that we just don't do it. But actually, what makes us grow and accelerate our process is to hear those haters saying something bad and made us recognize and be open to say like, oh, that was actually really bad. I can make this better. He's right or she's right. So the feedback is what changed the game, and that's when we created the Gallant and GC and the Academy, which helps people transition and make it this transition light and effective versus like stressful and frustrating as was for me.
and I've learned once we learn more about ourselves and find out everything that we've been shying away from, running from, wasn't able to understand, we start to identify our purpose. We start to walk along the path of healing and healing other people. When it started
Yes,
with us, it started with us because we have to figure out who we are as a person, as an individual, and to believe our intuition. See, what you all as women have is intuition. A lot of times people go against their intuition. So when I'm as I'm
most of the time.
mo really not 90%, 90%, because it's scary to go that you understand, that you know that
Yeah.
you're doing. And I've learned that when you understand yourself, the value that you're bringing is so special because you went through it, you overcame it, and now you're helping people overcome their problems, everything that they're dealing with. And
Yeah.
you said something about feedback, which is very vital. Hopefully, I set it up correctly, but I'm not really for sure. But after this, I think, but I'm not really for sure. That you're supposed to be getting a review. If you don't get a review, can you please let me know? I will send you that so you can see, so you can let me know how the conversation went.
So for you, absolutely.
For me, okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We broke down a little bit. Absolutely. And we have to do that all the time. So one of the things we teach in the academy the most for all of the students, like every single thing you do, like let's say we teach them through the powers of challenge. So we are certified by Pedro Deo to teach and consult in challenge. And we know the power that a well designed challenge can do for you. But let's say you did a challenge or anything, a virtual event, or even a podcast, like you said, and you finish, and maybe the results wasn't what you want, or even was. But always ask questions. I think the best way to make this journey simple is to ask questions. Ask questions to ourselves and to others. It's simple as like, there, did they did okay in this podcast?
Yeah.
Was like you were expect, or should I change something? What do you recommend me for the next one that I do? And I will ask you questions like after we leave here, because isn't in our mind we are never doing wrong.
Hmm.
We are doing right. but then we, because it's so clear to us that we don't see what people are not seeing, and if we don't ask these questions, you can't understand like about fashion. If you like a couple things I said, if you didn't have asked questions to me, the
Uh,
conversation was so awesome and so good because you asked questions. Simple as that.
I've learned, the best way to really have a great conversation is to ask the questions that you really want to know the answer to. I had went to this event, the relationship circle, a couple weeks ago, last week, and I had asked a question. But when I asked the question, it came out wrong. The question that I was asking, it sounded like I was making an excuse for men, but I wasn't. But the way I asked was completely wrong. It did not come out good. Okay. But when I asked it, I got feedback instantly because I said something sounded like I was taking up for men. What I was saying, what I wanted to ask was, how come women don't value yourself as much as you're supposed to? Like, why do you give that control to somebody else? But that didn't come out like that. It did not come out like that. So, as you imagine, multiple women gave me feedback right then there on the spot. It was great.
We're good at it. I was
It
like,
was
nah.
it was phenomenal because it showed me how to present the question to, like, how to put it together rather than just throwing it out. And then it
Yes.
made that was like, sometimes you gotta know when to listen. I said, you're absolutely right. I said, but here's the thing: if I'm in this industry, if I want to pursue this relationship niche, I need to ask questions that I don't understand. I can't get feedback if I'm just quiet back here just listening. Listening
Yeah.
is phenomenal, but when
It's
you ask,
powerful.
it is powerful. It is powerful. Also, asking questions is more powerful than just listening.
Exactly. And like and actually ask question is listening powerful because you ask, if you just ask just to pretend and not paying attention, then it's not. But if you ask because you really want to know and you're listening, how powerful is that? And the we suffer, even in the Bible, Jesus said, you guys don't get it because you don't ask for it. And the is so like it's so true.
So
So
true.
many things that today that I'm involved with marketing and everything, I realized that I could be, when I was in my career in fashion, I could have done and moved the letter. It's so much faster, so much bigger if I had just asked. For so many years, I did like a position, I was doing the job of like positions 3 levels above me, but
Mhm.
yet I never asked for a chance to be in that position, which I was already doing, but I never asked,
There's a.
never even mentioned.
I'm sorry. I
Huh?
interrupted. Sorry.
No, no, no. You say
I'm gonna go after you get done, Helen.
no, yeah, but that was done pretty much. But what I was saying, like, if you don't ask, and today I see like I could be in another place. I could have done so many other things if I had just asked.
Yeah. I certainly agree. There's a saying that says, "A closed mouth do not get fed." Meaning, if you don't keep
No.
your mouth closed, you don't want to eat. You don't want to. My uncle Paul, he told me that when I was like young. He was like, "Do y'all know what that means?" He was like, "No." He was like, "I can't read that mind. I don't know what y'all want, what y'all don't want. If y'all don't speak up and say anything, y'all
And
get it." I'm like, "Oh."
you know what happens to women, and even back to your question, and that was part of my speech and speak off. Like, and I'm very passionate to talk to women that is saying why women don't value themselves, because most of us we grew up in a culture that we are like, for me, the whole game changed for me when I invest in myself. But
Mhm.
because, Terry, I gave myself permission to invest myself. So for my entire life, even in the industry, like I said, I never asked why. Because my entire life I was waiting for someone to qualify me when I should be qualifying myself.
Mhm.
God already qualified me. He made me in so many wonderful quality, but I was constantly like just doing the job. And like, one day they're gonna see it. One day they're gonna come and say, like, oh, how amazing you are. Like, no, human beings, we are selfish. And it's not meaning to be selfish. We're just focusing the things we're doing, and more will be like this. if we don't stop people and they'll say, hey, hello, even you and I am here today because I stopped. I took the time to talk to you, to connect with you, see how you're doing. Hey, it was great to connect with you. I'm so glad you are in the same group as I am. I'm glad you clicked the button and came to this group. How can I serve you? How can I help you? You invite me to be here. I ask a question. I put myself in front of you. I
I
could just
agree.
be right. I couldn't just. I wouldn't be here if I was just there. Like one day he will see me. One day he will know my value. Like no, he has better things to do, Helen. Unless you're Beyonce, no,
Helen, look, you mind if I show you something right quick?
not at all. Please.
So yesterday, my boss came in with all my flyers, right?
Uh-huh.
You know what the flyer looks like?
Yes.
Like glaring off. Hold on.
Uh huh.
Are you looking for a public speaker? I ordered 1,000 of them, right? It's a lot. It's a
Uh
lot.
huh.
But I came to the conclusion last night that if you don't put yourself out there, how's people supposed to understand what you have to offer? I'm like, oh, that makes sense because a business is really putting yourself out there in different ways to where so many people can see you. Not only do I have flyers, I have business cards. Not only do I have business cards, I'm on social media. Not only am I in person, I'm online. I'm accessible. But then
Yes.
I start to learn. I'm like, oh, this is what having a business is. You put yourself out there. You put yourself out there more. You're bound to get a yes. Sooner.
And so simple because even my kids like they born and raised in LA and we live in downtown LA, okay? And they will watch those movies about the lemonade stand that every kid wanna do one, right? So then I promised them as soon as we moved to a house, we would do like a lemonade stand. So when we
Mhm.
moved to Florida, the house we were, so let's settle and say, let's do the lemonade stand. And they're like, yes, yes, let's go buy these products, buy this, the lemonade. I'm gonna do this. And they were fixing everything. And I said, like, get out of here, get out the house. They're like, what we're gonna do? I was like, first thing, if you want a business, before the table is set up, before the lemonade is ready, before anything, you're gonna go around the neighborhood and tell everybody what you're gonna do. I was like a week before I told them like we're gonna post in the Facebook group that they are, the neighborhood is, that we're gonna have a lemonade that day. We're gonna put it the date first, put it the ring for on it first, and then we'll find a way to make it happen. Don't wait for be perfect. So they went around and I thought it was so cute because in Florida it's hot, everybody's inside their house, right? So I thought I was like, take your bikes and go for it. Go wherever you can go. Just run and invite people in. They tell them at 4 p.m. we're gonna have a lemonade stand here. So they went around and they actually knocked the doors. I thought they would just bump the people in the street and say, remember, we just moved in that neighborhood. They knocked the doors, they call everybody and everything. So long story short, in a day that they just got, I think they made $150.
Mhm.
People came to just drop $20 for them because they were doing to raise money for back to school. Had people that just passed by. I just want to give $20 just to help your kids. Thank you so much for that you're doing. I love it. They were so excited. They invite a friend to help. They paid the friend. They had one for themselves. Like I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And it's a simple concept. It's so simple. Like even for women and for guys, anything for date perspective, for example, if you want to date someone, can you date never telling anybody that you are actually open to be dating? Or if you never get out of the house and you always quiet and you don't connect with anybody online, you are not having any community, you don't go anywhere, and I'm not saying go to the bar if you don't even like the bar, but if you're not immersed in any community or anything, or even love someone in a work environment and you never even mention or invite this person to a coffee or something to get know them better because you're afraid of people gonna say, guess what's gonna happen? You're probably never gonna date.
And go ahead, go ahead.
And no matter how pretty you are, like it just ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna date. And I love the fact that you brought up dating because dating is like business. If you don't put yourself out there, nobody's gonna come to you. I have a couple brothers. They be like, man, I'm gonna let them come to me. I said, well, you do that. I'm gonna keep putting myself out there. I'm going to keep putting myself out
You
there.
do that. Good luck with that.
That's what I've learned. Like you have to do things to be uncomfortable to keep putting yourself out there. Helen, this has been
Yes.
phenomenal. How can people
Right.
find you? How can they work with you? How can they connect with you? How can they potentially do a podcast with
Right. So, okay, to do a podcast with me, I can do through the email. That will be support at getlaunchagency.com. But it's not launch it, it's launch with no ed. Okay. And the website, you can connect to know more about the academy at www.getlaunch, no ed, agency.com/academy.
I think I went out of order. I didn't do my best for last segment, so I only had one segment. I think I was going to do that for after the best for last, but it's okay. Imperfect action.
Am
Okay.
I? Every day.
So I only have one segment. It's called best for last. So I ask four last questions, and you give a quick explanation with them.
Okay.
So first question: how do you keep your composure?
My composure with a smile.
With a smile, kill him with kindness.
Keep it kind.
Yeah. What do you
And
regret?
the deep breath.
And a deep that is that. Please make sure y'all breathe. Please make sure you breathe.
Yes.
Do you have any regrets?
Say it again.
Do you have any regrets?
Yes. That I took too long to really know who I was and believe in myself.
Mm, wow, that is a wow. That is a bar. That is the gem. What are you
Yeah.
grateful for?
What I'm going for,
Grateful for.
grateful for that I took a chance on me,
Mm.
that I
And
opened the wallet for me. I gave myself permission to just for it, go for it,
that go for what you believe.
what I believe,
Goodness.
despise what everybody was saying. And I heard a lot of bad things.
I agree. And
Still do, still do.
still do, but it doesn't bother you today.
Maybe for a second, but
Yeah, yeah. Quick second, quick second. You hear it, get you
threw me off for a second. They're like,
caught you by surprise. That's what that is.
yeah.
Okay, your last question. What does failure is knowledge mean to you?
Failing knowledge. Oh, failing is everything. It's the best thing ever happened to me. Uh, like the, I even see that you're wearing Nike. I think what changed the game for me when the year that I say, you know what, I'm not gonna that I'm just do like Nike, just do it. And that was the failure and learn together because as I fail, I learn. As I fail, I learn. And how I accelerate the process. The whole process was accelerated for me. You know, like I teach challenge right now, right? I'm certified. My first challenge, I opened my computer. We had a earthquake. My computer fall. I like really went to pick up my computer with like my butt was in front of the camera. Everything went wrong. So I was the least one qualified to be teaching like a challenge right now. But I didn't stop right there. So failure is important. Oh yeah, it is.
It is imperfect action.
Every day.
Helen, this has been phenomenal. This has been amazing. Thank you
Thank you.
for the platform. Thank you for educating me so much. Thank you for the great
Thank you.
conversation.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Terry. It was a delight. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Everybody that time tuned in, hopefully y'all got as much value. If y'all didn't, rewatch it again because you missed a whole bunch of information.
Right.
Hello,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone. Thank you for watching.